6:45. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. Here is the news edited by Lal Mallavarache and read by J. Yogaraj. First, the headlines. The government's aim is to increase the GDP, which is at 9.2% at present, up to 12% by next year. Prime Minister Dinesh Gunawardena says that even in the face of country's economic crisis, the current government protected the public servants. Indian High Commissioner in Sri Lanka says India will appear for Sri Lanka as a friendly nation with a long-lasting relation. 900 vehicle import permits have been issued for the migrant workers depending on their foreign remittances. Colombo-Hatton road blocked due to an earth slip. News overseas shelters are full as thousands flee to Gaza border city. In sports, the Under-19 Asia Cup cricket tournament starts in Dubai today. And those are the headlines. State Minister of Finance Ranjit Siambalapitiya says the solutions to revitalize the country's collapsed economy should be long-term but not short-term remedies. Accordingly, the government has reconsidered many more items that are not subjected to the value-added tax to be taken under VAT system. The government expects to earn a sum of 37.8 billion rupees by revising the VAT system by including many more items. The government's aim is to increase the GDP, which is at 9.2% at present, up to 12% by next year. The State Minister made these remarks in response to a question raised in the House at the committee stage debate yesterday. Prime Minister Dinesh Gunawardena says that even in the face of country's economic crisis, the current government protected the public servants. He said all government employees have been able to continue their services despite the economic crisis. Speaking at the Gampaha District Progress Review meeting of the National Integration Participation Development Programme Alut Kamak Alut Ratak, held at the Gampaha District Secretariat, the Prime Minister mentioned that the Grama Niladhari Service Minute will be implemented within the next few months. This news comes to you from Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
A comprehensive banking services package with a branded checkbook as well as debit and credit card exclusively for you.
Indian High Commissioner in Sri Lanka Gopal Bakle says that India will never hesitate to stand by Sri Lanka as a friendly nation with a long-lasting relation. The two countries are very close in many aspects. Language, culture and social values of the two states are of the same origin. The Indian High Commissioner made these remarks participating in a ceremony held in Kandy yesterday to mark the centenary of the Indian Assistant or Deputy High Commission office in Kandy. A commemoration stamp was also released to mark this event. Minister of Labour and Foreign Employment Manusha Nanikara said in Parliament 900 vehicle import permits have been issued for the migrant workers depending on their foreign remittances. Due to this facility, $100 million has been received in Sri Lanka, and this was revealed at the Parliament when Labour and Foreign Employment Ministry and Foreign Ministry debate was taken up for debate. President Ranil Wickremesinghe has instructed officers relevant officers to extend the credit notes at 3 occasions. Despite the situation, some officers at the Ministry of Finance has not taken any action. At the time President Wickremesinghe assumed duties, foreign reserves were at a very significant low level. Certain political leaders indirectly persuaded migrant workers not to send money to the country. Migrant workers helped Sri Lanka during difficult time to recover the economy despite such requests. Therefore, the government is grateful of that attitude of the migrant workers and expects to reward in return. Sri Lanka police have reported that the Hatton-Colombo main road has been completely blocked in the Diagal area due to a mound of earth collapsing on the road. Accordingly, motorists using the road are advised to use alternative routes. Motorists applying towards Hatton from Colombo are requested to travel through the Laksapana Norton Bridge route, while those travelling from Kandy are requested to use the Navalapitiya Dimbula Patana and Thalawakale route. Meanwhile, a similar incident was also reported near a 86-kilometer post in the Anil Khand area along the Deniya-Ratnapura road. And that's local news.
Elevate your life with People's Bank Excelsior. A comprehensive banking services package with a branded checkbook as well as debit and credit card exclusively for you.
The main news story is brought to you by Sinhala Mahatmya.
In a significant development aimed at enhancing the facilities of Sri Lankan Law College students, President Ranil Wickremesinghe has announced the allocation of government-owned land for this purpose. The President reached this decision during a discussion held at the Parliamentary Complex. Highlighting the historical significance of Sri Lankan Law College, which is set to celebrate its 150th anniversary in 2024, President Ranil Wickremesinghe emphasized its noteworthy contribution, having produced 3 presidents so far. Minister of Urban Development and Housing, Prasanna Ranatunga, conveyed that a plot of land owned by the Urban Development Authority will be provided to Sri Lankan Law College in accordance with the President's directive.
The main news story was brought to you by Sinhala Mahatmya.
Moving on to Watchlight, considering various indecent issues happening in private buses, the Lanka Private Bus Owners Association is to introduce a walkie-talkie system for passengers to make their complaints immediately. Chairman of the association, Gamuni Vichuratna, says that the new system will be introduced in a couple of weeks for the convenience of passengers. And that was Watchlight. And moving on to World News. Shelters are full as thousands flee to Gaza border city. Russia lures migrants from Finnish border for war in Ukraine. A state of emergency declared in Seychelles after a massive explosion. And those are the headlines of the World News. Tens of thousands of Palestinians are streaming into Rafah to escape intense fighting elsewhere in the south of the Gaza Strip. A BBC reporter in Gaza says the city has no food or electricity and there are severe water shortage. Thousands have tried to go to UN schools to find shelter but have had to sleep in front of the buildings as there is no room for them. The Israeli military is now deep into Khan Yunis, a city civilians in North Gaza had previously been told to flee to. Russia is trying to recruit foreign migrants detained in a recent sweep at its border with Finland for its war in Ukraine. The BBC has seen evidence of several cases in which foreigners were rushed into a military camp on the border with Ukraine days after they were picked up for breaching immigration laws. The practice of coercing people in pre-deportation detention centers to sign contracts for army service in Ukraine is not new, but the numbers swelled as foreign migrants arrived in Russia's 1,340-kilometer border with Finland. A state of emergency has been declared in Seychelles after a massive explosion at an industrial area on the main island, Mahé. Video footage shows the moment the blast took place, leaving a trail of destruction along the island's east coast. The international airport was also damaged despite being 4 kilometers away. Schools are shut and hospitals closed to all but emergency cases. A number of people have been injured and several people have also been evacuated from their homes. And that's World News. Moving on to development news, Saudi Arabian Airlines will operate flights between Saudi Arabia and Sri Lanka shortly, Foreign Affairs Ministry Ali Sabri said. Speaking during the committee stage debate yesterday, the minister said the Saudi Arabian Economic Affairs Minister recently gave an assurance that steps would be taken to operate the flights soon. He said the ministry was able to bring airlines that had not operated their flights to Sri Lanka after successful discussions with various countries, and that was development news. In sports, the Under-19 Asia Cup 2023 starts today and run till the 17th of December in Dubai. Organized by the Asian Cricket Council, Under-19 Asia Cup 2023 will see 8 teams playing a total of 15 ODI matches. Afghanistan, Bangladesh, India, Pakistan and Sri Lanka are the 5 full members of the ICC or ACC, that will take part in the upcoming youth event. They will be joined by Japan, Nepal and United Arab Emirates, who finished as top 3 sides in the ACC Men's Under-19 Premier Cup to qualify for the main tournament. And that was sports news.
Go ekak tiyana youth eකට life එකේ change එකට නියමෙට set වෙන්න ඇස් වහගෙන දැකපු වීන හැබැයි කරන්න youth එකට නියමෙට set වෙන්න friendship එක මෙන්න.
The all-new NSB Ithru account. NSB IAM, a plan for your dream.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
The Dawoodi Bohra community in Sri Lanka is gearing up for the grand launch of the 5th edition of the Bohra Business Expo, an event that has become a cornerstone in promoting economic and entrepreneurial development within the community and the nation. It will take place from today to 10th of December at the Bandanayake Memorial International Conference Hall. The Bohra community, or the Business Expo, is set to redefine the entrepreneurial landscape in Sri Lanka. And that was Business News.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Go ekak tiyana youth එකට life එකේ change එකට නියමෙට set වෙන්න ඇස් වහගෙන දැකපු වීන හැබැයි කරන්න youth එකට නියමෙට set වෙන්න friendship එක මෙන්න.
The all-new NSB Ithru account. NSB IAM, a plan for your dream.
And now in economic news.
Cabinet spokesperson Minister Dr. Bandula Gunawardena says Sri Lanka and India have agreed to conclude the technical level discussion of the economic and technical cooperative agreement by March next year. Sri Lanka and India have held 12 rounds of EDCA negotiations up to now, and the 13th round will be held in India from January 8 to 10, 2024. The minister said that the cabinet ministers reviewed the information submitted by President Ranil Wickremesinghe this week regarding the outcomes of the 12 rounds of the discussions. And that was economic news. And moving on to weather report. The Met Department says showers or thunder showers will occur at several places over most parts of the island after 1 p.m. today. Fairly heavy showers above 75 millimeters are likely at some places in the central, Sabarakamu, western and Uva provinces and in Galle and Kurunegala districts. Several spells of showers may occur in the eastern province during the morning hours too. Misty conditions can be expected in the Sabarakamu, Central and Uva provinces during the morning hours too. And that was the weather report. To wind up this news broadcast, let's look at the main points once again. The government's aim is to increase the GDP, which is at 9.2% at present, up to 12% by next year. Prime Minister Dinesh Gunawardena says that even in the face of the country's economic crisis, the current government protected the public servants. Indian High Commissioner in Sri Lanka says that India will appear for Sri Lanka as a friendly nation with a long-lasting relation. 900 vehicle import permits have been issued for the migrant workers depending on their foreign remittances. Colombo-Hatton Road blocked due to an earth slip. News overseas shelters are full as thousands flee to Gaza border city. In sports, the Under-19 Asia Cup cricket tournament starts in Dubai today. And with that, we conclude this morning news broadcast of Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.